The Reckoning of Maple Grove. In the quiet suburb of Maple Grove, where manicured lawns and white picket fences hid secrets as cold as the January snow, a woman named Evelyn Harper ruled the homeowners association with an iron fist. She called it leadership. I called it tyranny. When she tied my 9-year-old nephew, Tommy, to a post, doused him with fuel, and lit a match in the name of character building, I didn't just see Rady saw fire. This is the story of how I burned her empire to ash and branded her with a scar she'd never forget. Stick around, because this isn't just about revenge. It's about what happens when a child's scream wakes a man who has had enough of being silent. Evelyn stood in the community center, her navy coat pristine, her voice sharp as frost. Effective immediately, she announced. All children aged 6 to 12 will attend the Pine Ridge Winter Resilience Camp. 3 nights in the mountains. It forges strength. Her eyes gleamed with the kind of conviction that silenced rooms. What she meant was, obey, or face fines that could bankrupt a family. I raised my hand. Evelyn, my nephew Tommy is 9. He has asthma. A cold snap nearly killed him 2 years ago. He can't handle the mountains. She turned, her gaze slicing through me like I was a bug on her windshield. Then teach him to stop being fragile, John, she snapped. Or let nature do it. The room stayed silent. No one challenged her. By nightfall, Tommy's name was on the camp list, circled in red. The next morning, a black HOA van pulled up. 2 men in khaki jackets told Tommy to pack light and be tough. He clutched the stuffed bear I'd given him, his eyes wide, lips trembling. Uncle John, will I be okay? I knelt, gripping his shoulders. You'll be back soon, kid. Stay with the group. If anything feels wrong, run. I kissed his forehead as they took him away. That night, I couldn't shake the unease. Coffee, TV, whiskey, nothing helped. Then an email pinged. Pine Ridge Winter Camp, Night 3 update. Tommy selected for flame trial, level 50, a proud moment for Maple Grove. My heart stopped. Flame trial? I grabbed my boots, my old hunting axe, and a coil of rope from the garage. If Evelyn thought this was a game, she was about to meet a man who played for keeps. The camp was no place for kids. Tommy arrived with 20 others, bundled in mismatched coats, scared and shivering. The instructors, led by a grizzled ex-cop named Carl, barked orders like drill sergeants. Evelyn watched from the sidelines, her clipboard a scepter. The kids slept in flimsy tents on frozen ground. No heaters, just damp logs and a faulty lighter for fire-building skills. Tommy wheezed by day 1. He begged for his inhaler. Evelyn crouched beside him, her voice cold. Earn your air, Thomas. That's how you survive. She walked away, leaving him to choke. By night 3, Tommy was silent, curled up near a shed. Carl approached Evelyn by the fire pit, muttering, "The boy's weak." Cried during the ice dunk. Evelyn sipped from a thermos, unfazed. Then it's time. Flame trial, level 5. Her assistant, Linda, hesitated. The parents might. Evelyn cut her off. Parents don't matter. We show results. Fearless kids, unbreakable minds. Maple Grove leads. She pointed to a clearing. Take him to the post. They tied Tommy to a wooden stake, his thin gloves barely covering blistered hands. He didn't scream, just stared at the stars, praying. Evelyn approached with a canister of training fuel and a match. This is symbolic, she declared, her voice caught by a hovering drone. He overcomes the fire, or he remains weak. She poured fuel over his boots, up the post. The chemical stench hit the woods. Carl lit the match. Evelyn smiled. Let the trial begin. I watched from the trees, my blood boiling. The snow bit my face, but rage kept me warm. I saw Tommy flinch as flames licked his sleeves. His scream was swallowed by the wind. Then his head turned, and he saw me. Those trusting eyes broke something in me. I remembered Tommy at 6, turning blue on my floor, me pounding his back, begging him to breathe. I'd promised myself, never again. I charged, axe in hand, through snow and flame. The heat clawed my coat, but I swung, cutting the rope. Tommy collapsed into my arms, wheezing, his sleeve melted to his skin, his cheek blistered. I've got you, I growled, holding him tight. Breathe, kid. Behind me, Evelyn's voice cracked. What are you doing? This is a supervised exercise. She marched forward, furious, as if I were the criminal. I stood, Tommy in one arm, axe in the other. You lit a child on fire, I snarled. This is leadership? She scoffed. It's symbolic. He needed to learn. I stepped closer. She stepped back. Learn what? To die scared. Her eyes darted. Carl was gone. Linda had fled. Evelyn was alone, and for the first time, she looked small. You're trespassing, she hissed. I'll call the police. Good, I spat. Let them see your resilience. I swung the axe, not to hit, but to warn. The blade bit the ground near her boots. She shrieked, stumbled. I wrapped Tommy in my coat and walked into the storm, but not before glaring back. You burned my nephew, Evelyn. Now it's your turn. I hid Tommy in a hollow between boulders, wrapping him in my coat, lighting a flare for warmth. Stay here, I whispered. I'll be back. His pale lips nodded. I returned to the clearing, where embers glowed, and Evelyn fumbled with her radio, panic cracking her polish. I kicked the radio away. No more calls, I said coldly. She spun, eyes wild. You're insane. No, I snapped. I'm awake. She backed away, slipping on ice. Where's the boy? Safe, I said. Something you wouldn't understand. Her coat was torn, her face bloodied from a fall. I stormed the lodge tent, finding file boxes, laptops, and HOA bylaws, her empire of control. I doused them with fuel, smashed the drone console, and lit a match. This is for Tommy, I said, dropping it. The tent erupted in flames. Evelyn screamed, lunging at the fire. I flung her into the snow. Try documenting this in your newsletter. She coughed, eyes wide. You'll go to prison. Maybe, I growled. But you'll carry a scarf first. I tore the metal HOA badge from her coat, heated it in the embers until it glowed white, and pressed it into her hand. Her scream echoed like thunder. That's for Tommy, I snarled. Every time you reach for power, you'll feel it. The secondary tent held more. Cabinets, a safe, laptops, and a whiteboard reading Pine Ridge Child Development. Phase 2. Obedience over emotion. Pain equals respect. I smashed it with a chair, doused the file's blackmail, threats, rosters, and lit another match. Let's see you enforce silence now, I muttered. The flames roared, consuming her legacy. Evelyn sat in the snow, trembling, her hand blistered with the HOA logo. What have you done? She rasped. Ended your cruelty, I snapped. No more rosters, no more drones, no more kids burning for your ego. She spat. You're going to jail. I leaned close. Maybe, but you'll live knowing your empire's ashen you branded it. I walked away, her sobs fading into the wind. I found Tommy, his breath shallow, his skin fever hot. I carried him down the mountain, my truck barely starting in the snow. At the hospital, they rushed him to the burn unit. Level 2 and 3 burns, possible nerve damage, months of grafts. But he was alive. I sat, soot-covered, as nurses worked. At dawn, they let me in. Tommy, bandaged, whispered, You came. I choked back tears. Always. He looked at his gauze. I couldn't scream loud enough. I leaned close. You survived, Tommy. That's stronger than anything she tried to teach. He asked, Is she gone? I nodded. Her world's ash. And her hand will never forget you. He paused, then said, Can we go back one day? So I can stand where I didn't die. My throat tightened. Yeah, kid. You'll stand taller than the fire. Evelyn survived, found shivering by rangers, her hand scarred, her mind intact but broken. The trial was a spectacle. Drone footage backups and parent testimonies exposed her crimes: endangerment, assault, psychological torture. She got 28 years in a locked facility with burn survivors and trauma counselors who knew her sins. In court, she wore gloves, but the scar showed. Tommy, bandaged, stared her down. She looked away first. The HOA dissolved. The camp was razed. Tommy recovered, laughing again, drawing bears that fought with fire. Above his bed hung a sketch: a mountain, a storm, a man carrying a boy. Survival isn't silence, it read. I didn't kill Evelyn because scars speak louder than graves. She lives, and every mirror reminds her of the cost. This wasn't just a rescue, it was a reckoning. It exposed cruelty hiding behind authority, control disguised as discipline. Evelyn wasn't alone. Her kind lurks in HOAs, schools, even families, shaping others through pain, not love. Tommy survived because he held on, believing someone would come. That hope is stronger than any axe I swung. What about you? Have you seen power abused and stayed silent? Drop your thoughts below. Was my fire justice or vengeance? Should monsters like Evelyn face death or scars? Share your stand, someone needs to hear it. Like, subscribe, and let's keep sparking fires that burn through silence. Because no child should scream into the dark and wait in vain.